It works. It works. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Can't Camp again. I am one of your illustrious hosts. I hope I'm using that word correctly, illustrious. I don't know. I'm Calvin Ripley.
I think so.
Somewhere in one of these boxes, we have Albert Pernotto.
Hey, how's it going?
And somewhere in also these boxes, we have Dom Jeswell.
How's everybody doing?
I think I'm tired, honestly. Well, I'm not tired, but like I just don't have coffee is my biggest thing.
Coffee is the way. Oh, speaking of,
Yeah.
to begin the show, happy Left-Handers Day, everybody. For my left-handed, 10% of men out in the world and 7% of women. It's a day to celebrate your left-handed friends.
What is
Like me.
Is it 10%?
What is strange?
10% of men, 7% of women.
I know that there's a lot of people who are left-handed now, but I don't think it's just 10%.
Dom, you should.
I mean, from like birth, 10%. I don't know if you the hipsters in LA, if they wanted to like get on the trend, try different hands. I don't know.
I don't think
So
left.
they try
I
to
don't
be
think.
ambidextrous with...
I don't know if left. I don't know if left hand's ever been like a trend in LA.
Well, you guys want to start that?
You just can. You can start the. Dom, you ever watch Simpsons? Was that a thing? Part of your growing up?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah.
My grandma watches Simpsons.
That's so weird. I'm thinking of it. Your grandma on the Indian side of your family or the Danish side?
Yeah, she asked me the other, I don't know, a couple months ago. She was really sad. I was just talking to her, and she was like, "Why did they stop showing Apu?"
Oh.
I was like, "Oh, yeah, right."
Apu?
Apu?
Apu.
She was so
yeah.
confused. She was like, "What happened?" And I was like, it's a thing.
I guess
It's a thing.
they must dub it over in India, right? Or was she watching in English? Was she watching in English?
No, she was watching English, and they just had subtitles.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think I watched The Simpsons during when I was studying in LA. That's when I started
Simpsons was
watching
the shit. Why? What about Simpsons?
Nothing. I think I was just because Ned Flanders he has his left-handed star.
Yeah, he does. When I found that he was left-handed, I was like, damn. I mean, he's not a good representative of who want to be associated with, but it's still cool.
Of the left,
So do you relate with Ned Flanders?
you don't want to be related to buff sweater wearing Heidi Ho neighbors. I feel personally attacked, honestly.
That's
Because I'm both.
Really.
I'm really just. I'm shredded and I'm a Heidi Ho neighbor. So. I do I actually have what? Washboard abs.
Left-handed stores, is that a thing?
Oh, left-handed stores. I haven't seen, maybe in more Midwest areas, but I haven't seen there's a lot of as seen on TV stuff where it's left-handed. I don't know.
Cool.
All right, let's get into our topics. All right, our topic today, we're going through me and we're going to do a couple other topics, rattle around. Anyway, we want to talk about morally gray characters in video games in terms of whether that's a good or bad thing, what it does for the what that does for the medium in general, the same way that comic books and movies have shifted to a more in between character, morally, I guess, character, and overall what that means. Because Mitch and I just started, we just finished, or I'm about to finish Ghost of Tsushima, and that's basically the entire premise is a morally gray character. Wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on it, and just if it's holding us back as storytellers in terms of should there be more optimism, more kind of heroes, I guess, in games, or should there be less of it?
Well, let's start off with an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's morally gray? I think let's use Red Dead Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Morgan? Arthur Morgan, right? That's his name. The main character. Yeah, he's morally great throughout the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did some bad stuff in the middle of the story. I think he extorted a couple of people who, well, he extorted someone who owes them the debt, but still he didn't have to be violent to them. He didn't have to punch them until they gave the money, right? Well, you have to but it is very morally gray. But you see I think morally gray characters has always been the more interesting characters to see in games or watching films, because you see how you can relate to them easier rather than just being like either really good person or a really bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I read a thing when I was doing something with my website, finding out the name, what I want it to be. So I stumbled upon a lot of articles where they talked about like ambiguity and like
Big
the
word.
gray area in between, between like good and bad, and then somehow it led me to film. And there was an article where they talked about why this moral gray area is such a thing now. It's such a hot thing. Everybody is like walking the line.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it kind of stemmed from initially when first when films came out, and then with the Hays Code being quite conservative, it led to a lot of film and entertainment from that era showing a lot of stand-up people and a lot of the good guy was so good, his morals were good, he was good, it was a lot to live up to.
It was like the
and
Captain America to an extreme.
Yeah. And then I think with films like when James Dean or like Marlon Brando, that's when it started to they started to show people who were a little bit more complex, who weren't necessarily they're not really a bad guy, but they've got their problems and shit. They tried to mirror more reality, so that way the audience could empathize more, because real life is not Captain America or Red Skull.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's kind of where it started, and I'm kind of with Albert though. Like, I like a good meaty, he's a little bit naughty, he's a little bit nice, I feel like it's more relatable.
Yeah.
It's more relatable.
No,
100%. You can have your cake and eat it too.
100%. It creates, just because we as people are nuanced. We as people are.
We ain't saints.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's just like there's the impossible standard. That's also like a very specific standard, and then you can go into so many philosophical debates about like what is morals anyway, and that'd be cool for a game to tackle. I've never seen a game like games have always tackled like, is this like good? Is this bad? Is what I'm doing? I'm helping people, but I'm doing it in a bad way. Ghost of Tsushima, like I'm teaching our people to fight, but I'm doing it in a bad way. But then that game has some other issues in terms of morality and how it portrays certain characters. But it's like, no, I don't know if that's too high concept for a game. If you're just like questioning morals in general, not just your own morals, but like, I don't know. That'd be interesting.
I mean, like, let's use a different example with a morally gray character in something that's more mainstream that people probably have watched before.
Yeah.
Like Killmonger in Black Panther, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the last Black Panther film, he had like a morally, I think he had like something that motivated him. It's a good cause, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to save the people, like his people, right?
Yeah.
In America, everywhere that's being oppressed.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to give them the way to fight back. But the morally great thing is that his way is very extreme to the point that he just want chaos and massacre.
Yeah.
But you feel for them. You feel for him when he's talking about it. You empathize with him, right?
Mm-hmm. And how T'Challa does what he was going to do, but does it in a, I guess, more socially acceptable way than. Yeah. But ultimately, he was right. Like, he did end up, his plan kind of like was starting to come to fruition just through a different avenue. And that talks about like superheroes in general in terms of the comics. Like Dom, you were talking about in filmmaking in America, we're very like pro-war, pro-government, pro-like America, very like we still have a lot of that ingrained in our storytelling. But then World War II happened and everybody came back from war, saw those movies and was like, that's not what war was like. War wasn't this like, gee golly, we'll get them. Like, it was dark and they watched their friends die. And so that transitioned us into a more darker, more nuanced type of storytelling. And I don't know. And since we've come that far as like storytellers, I'm wondering like what video games next step was, because back, I don't know how many years ago, like I guess in the past like 5 or 10 years, remember the biggest thing was choice games. It was talking about Ghost of Tsushima, Sucker Punch, Infamous, like choosing to be good or bad. Fallout 3 had the karma scale where it was like you would like build a good or bad karma, and it just kind of affected the world around you. Like in Until Dawn, not really karma based, but choice based. And I think those games have a really easy way. They're slightly more accessible to be like, I guess, almost novel like.
I feel like a lot of people want there to be more black and white because how polarizing it is right now. You get what I'm saying? Because we all understand that people are nuanced and there's not like everyone is nuanced. There's not always a right and wrong to a situation. But I feel like people just need that boost of positivism. What is it?
Positivity. Yes.
Positivity in their games, maybe because they've been seeing a lot of morally gray stories, like The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know. We haven't played Cyberpunk 2077, but that's probably a morally gray game also.
Can anyone think of like a game that's come out recently that's like not a Nintendo game that has a character that's like what a story based around something that's not like, I don't know. I don't want to like say like super optimistic. I don't want to like remove the conflict from a character, from the game or from the storytelling, just being like, we need to be more positive. But like,
I think other than Nintendo games, most games are when it is story-based games, like what am I thinking? Life is Strange. That's kind of morally gray. Also, God of War. That's also kind of morally gray because we're dealing with Love is Strange, great game, but we're dealing with Kratos' inner demons with him being like this huge god killer, and he killed all his kin, and then he has to and stuff, all of that stuff that happened in the previous games, and he has to deal with his son that's coming into godhood. Godhood, is that a
godhood?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's where God of War did so well, is that it was more of a story about like, not like, oh, I'm doing these bad things. It was like a story about pulling back, you know? Like you had the like, it wasn't like a super moral high ground area, because it wasn't just about Kratos. It was, he had a kid involved. And when you put like, if you add a child to like any situation, I feel like that just ramps up the intensity by 100. And so rather than it being like he doesn't have time to be like, am I good? Am I bad? It's like, it's more about like, I need to make, like, he knows he's bad essentially. And he knows that he needs to like pull it back. It's all about reserving that anger, that hate, that stuff.
We skimmed a little bit about Cyberpunk 2077. What do you think? What do you guys think of that? Tom, have you seen the trailer for the new Cyberpunk 2077? The new trailer?
When it came out?
few days ago.
Yeah.
Damn it, nope.
I could feel the dots like deep, 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 deep.
Sorry, guys.
No, I mean the game, like basically in the trailer they just talk about you have 3 storylines you can do. You can do corporate, you can do nomad, you can also do street kid.
Yeah.
And they also show like their weapon customization. You can do like their bio-human stuff. You can change your arms into like swords.
Yeah.
You can
Swords
even
and
use smart guns. You can do like powered guns and stuff like that. I feel like I'm gonna use a smart gun because they're gonna help me with my aim, because I'm really bad at aiming on FPS RPG games and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, you hate FPS.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm gonna try Cyberpunk 27 because I really like the style of Cyberpunk 2077. That's a whole lot to say. I like the style. It's very Blade Runner-y. I'm surprised there's not a lot of games that are set in that kind of like time and style, you know?
I think it's coming back because Marvel Comics seems to be dipping their toe a lot recently in 2099 again. Like 2099 Spider-Man, 2099 Venom, 2099 Ghost Rider, 2099 Avengers. I feel like Cyberpunk's going to be like this, the final like breaking wave that's going to bring back all this like this Blade Runner type stuff.
I'm just looking to reenact the damn Judge Dredd 2012 with Carl Urban. You know, when he goes into the building and shit all tactical. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm so gonna reenact that shit.
See, I was gonna reenact Blade Runner.
I'll do both.
Oh my god.
What was I gonna say? Do we know if there's armor in that game? Because I don't. I'm off and on the Cyberpunk stuff because I don't want to like spoil myself on anything.
I think I didn't see the armor health bar in the game.
I don't think so.
But
there should be a leveling system, right? It's an RPG.
Not even a leveling system. I just want the fit. Can I have a trench coat? Can I have a hoodie? Like, what color are my jeans? Am I wearing shorts?
I think you can change.
What are the shoes?
Can you get 3 breasts? Total Recall.
I don't think you can, but you can customize your genitalia. And that's a topic for another day.
We're just gonna talk about customizing your genitalia in games.
Just that. There's that. Not customizing characters in general. Just focusing on that. But what did they say? I don't know.
What did you say?
I just am
Go Vegan.
really into that micro penis. I keep thinking about it.
I feel like I don't
What's
know.
What's related tangentially that we can jump over to?
To micro penises?
Yeah. How can we switch this conversation naturally from micro penis to whatever next educational conversation?
It's always revenge. You ever notice that? It's always revenge. I want something a little different. I think maybe I just haven't been looking at enough indie games recently, or maybe I'm just out of the loop. But that's also what I want to talk about too, is like casual games, like not just like I guess pop culture games, but like games that everybody else like. If you're not like a hardcore gamer, if you're just like checking in every now and then. Or what's something that you guys would like to see in a video game storytelling wise that they haven't done? Like I said, kind of high concept where a character is questioning like morality itself. Like, what do you guys want to see?
I feel like I want to see, this already happened because I wanted to see more Asian main characters because we don't have that a lot, but Ghost of Tsushima is just mainly Asian characters. Mm-hmm. But I want to see something new with something that's not medieval, something that's how do I say this? Not like more contemporary.
Not a period piece?
In art. not a period piece. I want to see maybe something new, something interesting with a Asian character, or it could be a period piece that's fully high fantasy, because you know how Asians and their how it is, like how Asians legends and their stories, and they have like a deep lore, more like way deeper than most medieval times, right? Because you have like every country has their own legends, and I feel like that could be delved in more and morally, but I don't know. That's my thing. How about you guys?
No, I get that. Dom?
Well, when I was younger, I really enjoyed playing God of War on the PSP, and I keep like going back to the sex level where you had to move the joysticks round and round and shit. That was my highlight as a child.
Yes. Dom's just pro sex in games. Wants more sex. And I agree.
He just wants to move the joystick left and right.
The little ones. Anyway, but now I'm a mature man.
Oh, now you're a mature man.
You're a mature man. Continue telling us about your joystick.
See, I don't have anything really in particular, but now that you brought up the Asian thing, it might be kind of a shallow thing, but I think it would be damn cool to see some halfies in that game. Let's get weird. Let's just put two combos together and like see how two cultures clash in a game. Make it a story. Make it a backdrop in a story. I don't know, man.
If Insomniac handles it right, Spider-Man Miles Morales could do a really good job of that, because
that's true.
Because he's
two cultures.
He's what is his
African American dad, and also like a Spanish mom, like Hispanic mom, right? That's what
Hispanic
it is in the
Ultimate.
Into the Spider-Verse film. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's how. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think there would have been more of an uproar had they changed that in the game. But so Miles Morales Spider-Man has a potential to, because that's very central to him in the comics. So it'd be kind of a wasted opportunity if they have this this character that speaks for so much representation and is at the peak, if not like continuing to climb the height of popularity with Spider-Verse and how he just speaks to people, and like, it's fucking Spider-Man. Like, it's such like, you want to talk about like
fucking Spider-Man.
You want to talk about like non-morally gray characters, like a little more optimistic. Like, that's why you go into the Spider-Man versus Batman debate. Like, you have this character that literally just represents so much, but is still doing the good thing all the time. There we go. We solved our own riddle.
There you go. Just make Spider-Man games.
Just every game is a Spider-Man game now.
They're more optimistic, uplifting, and shit like that.
Yeah, like they're Tony Stark's gonna be
optimistic.
Tony Stark's gonna do like more like gray area stuff, but Spider-Man not so much. Either way, I'm really excited to see how like the camouflage works in that game, and if it's like an off-on thing, or if it's like a meter bar. Like,
I hope it's an off-on thing.
And then how do you balance it?
Cool as an off-on thing.
So, Spider-Man Miles Morales' power set, if you didn't know, Dom, he can camouflage and go invisible, like Predator mode. And then he can, he's got like a venom blast. So like he can he touches people and it like sends electricity through their body. And then as the comics have changed, he like can put it into his webs and he can do like a shockwave of it. Like he's got a little extra bite to him.
That sounds like a 2099 one a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've never played the 2099 one. Is it a good game?
The Shattered
Spider-Man
Dimensions
2099.
back in the day? Yeah, but
Yeah.
they don't really expand on the power set. Shattered Dimensions is very like copy and paste more or less. Like they changed like a little bit. It's that meme where it's like, all right, yeah, you can copy my work, just change it a little bit.
Yeah. That's me and Jonas and Knifer.
Knife. I've been thinking about Knife a lot recently. I don't know why. Oh, probably because we're just talking about films.
This is something way off topic, but someone said that the Amy Hennig game that got canceled, the Star Wars game, that was a missed opportunity. Like they
were saying
said
it was
that
like
it's gonna be the best Star Wars game if they ever made it. It's gonna be Uncharted Star Wars. That's what they said.
Talk about morally gray characters that you want in video games. Bounty hunters, just all the time. Smugglers.
They canceled a Star Wars game?
Yeah, it was by the...
Amy Hennig is the creator of Uncharted.
Oh.
You know Uncharted games?
Damn.
She made the first 3, I think. Yeah, first 3. And then Neil Druckmann did the fourth one.
I think, the relationship... I think the relationship started getting rocky around... Or I still don't even know the full story of that. That started happening like post Last of Us. So I think it was around Uncharted 3 where things started to get a little weird.
Yeah. But yeah, that game would have been crazy cool. And it sucks that because you know that they wanted to... Star Wars were trying to go into more of the multiplayer side online kind of game. And then they made the last... What is it? Jedi Fallen? Am I remembering?
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. Fallen Order. And then that's a single player campaign. It just sucks that they canceled Amy Hennig's game.
Amy Hennig started.
Even though Fallen Order is also a great game, but it would have been great to have her game also in the mix of everything else, right?
Yeah. Is there a pop culture thing you guys want to see turned into a game?
Wouldn't mind playing a Hawkeye game for a little bit.
You got Avengers coming out, man.
You got Avengers. It's coming out.
Come on, dig deep, man. Dig deep.
That's true.
Like something that's like...
They have Avengers. Suicide Squad's going to be in a game.
That's going to be a game.
Already teased it. Wow. Like Suicide Squad's going to be fighting the League.
I guess, you know what? This Harry Potter game, I'm really excited for.
Harry Potter.
Because I just want to like play it. Like, I'm not even like...
Potter's making a game?
Yeah, they're making like
Yeah, they're making an RPG.
Wow.
And I just wanna play it. I don't like. I'm a big Harry Potter fan, but I'm not like a massive Harry Potter fan. And so, but I'm excited because like there hasn't been a Harry Potter game before that's like a AAA game. You know what I mean?
And then let go of the button.
That's like an original. That's like an original game.
Like has the.
I just want to go to Hogwarts, man.
Yeah. I mean, like it was like Dom. It was like Shadow of Mordor. Like remember when like you think you hear Lord of the Rings in video game and you just think like a retelling of the movies, but then they made Shadow of Mordor. Yeah,
that's exactly in my head.
And you were like,
"What the go back to Hogwarts?"
Fuck? Yeah, see, that'd be cool. I'm trying to think of I'm like a Percy Jackson game would be. Now I'm just talking about young adult series, but Percy Jackson would be good. But
Ubisoft, Percy Jackson's a dope story.
Yeah,
it's a dope young adult novel.
Mm-hmm. That'd be super cool.
I've only seen the movies.
The movie did it dirty.
Yeah, both of them did. But Disney's making new ones of that I think they're making a TV show.
What, the Percy Jackson? Oh yeah,
Disney Plus is doing it, like Mandalorian style.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, I'm excited. Be cool as hell.
Ubisoft's got the monopoly on Greek games right now, though.
Who?
Ubisoft? because they did they did Assassin's Creed, and now they're doing Gods and Monsters. Who knows?
I want to clarify. No, it was like because Percy Jackson, the movie was what they made the characters into 16-year-olds, and they changed the prophecy and stuff. And the original books, like they were young, they were like 12,
13 or something like that. Yeah,
they're like the same age as when Harry Potter started, like one of those things. But yeah,
just a bunch of fucking
it was
kids.
Weird for me when I watched a bunch of kids. It's weird to put them in a camp.
Teenagers in the camp. Never goes wrong.
Never goes wrong.
Troll Hunters game coming out September 19th. Troll Hunters. Troll Hunters.
Troll Hunters?
I love that show. Me and Joe obsess about Troll Hunters. Wizards.
Isn't that the one with Justin Timberlake or some shit? Wasn't that movie a pretty bad one?
That's Trolls.
That's something else.
That's Trolls, like the toy. This is Troll Hunters. Guillermo del Toro. Put some respect on the name.
Actor with that Star Trek actor, right?
Yeah, he passed away while they were making the first season. And so he the voice actor changes in like the last 5 or so episodes. It's I love that show so much. So it's like, it was really just when they changed the voice and it made me think about the actor, I just got super sad. But they're making the Troll Hunters game, but it's like a side scroller, and I don't think it's going to be very good. It's going to be shit, but I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it so much.
Yeah.
But no, Dom, you would sort of like Troll Hunters is like got this like Spiderwick Chronicles like Spider-Man style where it's like Guillermo del Toro wrote a book with a guy, and the the Netflix show is a lot more high fantasy than the books were. But so they basically did a thing. They did Troll Hunters, and then after that they did a show called Three Below. It all takes place in the same town, and all the supporting characters stay the same. It's just that the main characters change. And it's like a continuous story. So like it was Troll Hunters, and then the main character leaves town, and then aliens crash land. And like it's kind of like the last season of Troll Hunters ties into the first season of the Alien show. And then there's Wizards, and then they're gonna do a movie. I don't know.
Wait, okay.
Sorry, I just had to rant about that really quick. I got really excited.
Like on that Swedish movie?
I think yes and no. I think there's a connection to it. You remember the Swedish movie Troll Hunter, or is it Norwegian?
No, I don't know.
I know that Guillermo del Toro was part of the Norwegian one somehow. I don't remember how though.
Yeah, no, he because he ghost produced or ghost wrote. He was like not credited, but like he's been working with DreamWorks for like a really long time. He did like Megamind and a bunch of stuff, Dom, because he just wanted to learn about animation because he wanted to make Troll Hunters, and it was supposed to be a movie, but then they turned it into a TV show. So he's been working and like he was like learning animation and stuff for like 7 years just because he had this like passion project he wanted to do.
Damn.
Love it. So I'm excited to play that game, that adaptation.
Something that used to be with Guillermo del Toro. It was the Silent Hill game. No, it's not Silent Hill game. Hideo Kojima is working the next game. He's working with my favorite horror manga artist. His name is Junji Ito. Oh man, creation. He's a dope horror manga artist. Well, it's like I think they wanted to work together. They were supposed to work together on Silent Hill with like Guillermo del Toro and Junji Ito, the biggest horror guy in Japan. I think because Silent Hill fell through, I think they're working on something. That's what the Twitter said. The tweet he sent out said. But he wanted to work together with Junji Ito, but I don't know if what's this gonna about. But it's gonna be something crazy, because if you ever seen any of Junji Ito's works, it's always been something very viscerally mysterious and very something hits you in your soul when you're reading his books. It's crazy. It's so creepy and how he did it. He's a manga artist. He's a comic book artist.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you some stuff, Dom, if you ever wanna see it. But it's super dope.
Sure. Down for some more.
I wonder what like the next step in horror games will be, but that'll have to wait
Evil 8
until
is coming out, right?
Good, Hagen.
Did I cut you off?
I was like,
sorry.
I was like, I wonder what horror games will be like later, but we'll talk about that next. And Dom and Albert's like, oh well, the Silent Hill's coming out. Just keeps going.
Evil 8.
All right, fuck it, 3 more hours. Let's go. No, but all right, we're gonna. That's good. I want to still talk about that. All right. Falling apart here.
We're gonna outro us out.
I was gonna outro us out.
See ya, guys.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
I'm done.
Bye, guys.